Alphas talk, betas walk.
Welcome in, everybody. Friday night edition. Michigan is on their way to the Elite Eight. I am your host, Dun Diesel. Welcome the boys in. We got the Prowler and the King. What's going on, fellas?
How's it going? Madness does not disappoint.
No, it's been a phenomenal March Madness so far. Big Blue, baby, like you said, Sean. We're on our way to the Elite Eight. 2 more stops to the championship game.
Yeah, I'm good games tonight. That St. John's Duke game was a good game down to the wire. Bama Michigan was a tight game for the first half, first 25 minutes. Michigan really asserted their dominance in the second half. So for Michigan fans, it was still a great game. If you were non-biased, just watching it overall, it probably got pretty boring late. But not for us, baby. Elite Eight. I don't expect any problems. Think we'll be marching on to the Final Four. The Iowa State guy's he's still hurt. He's out for tonight. I'm not sure they'll get past Tennessee. We'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, I knew that Alabama game would have its stressful moments and that they would literally shoot 53s, and they did. They launched 47 threes. Yeah, 47 threes. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the second half, though. So we are on to the Elite Eight, and hopefully by the time we're talking next week, the Final Four. We have a packed show for you guys. We're going to jump right in and get it rolling. We're kicking it off with our Degens on Sports around the league.
News of the week.
All right, I'll kick us off, and I'm going to keep us on the March Madness topic. Iowa, the number 9 seed Iowa, has made the Elite Eight for the first time since 1987. It's Ben McCollum's first year at the helm. Is this man an elite coach?
I mean, starting to think so. They're starting to, compare him to this year's Signetti of NCAA football. Last year, he led 11 seed Drake to a upset win over Missouri, and then they lost in the second round to Texas Tech. And then McCollum was asked about potentially accepting a higher major job. The jobs that are open now, like at North Carolina, and then the rumors about Bill Self retiring from Kansas, but he's already dismissed those rumors. And then Kelvin Sampson from Houston.
Yeah, which we know that doesn't mean shit. Like he still could potentially go to one of those jobs if he gets offered.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I love the Signetti analogy, though, Rick. I think I wasn't even thinking that on my path, but I think that's a great analogy with Signetti coming from like James Madison and then just instantly sort of establish it himself as just being absolutely elite, being the man in year one, and then obviously followed up year two with a natty. Where do you stand on it, Corp?
Well, I mean, he's definitely done some good things, but it's his recruiting. He's keeping his players from Drake. I think he brought 4 or 5 over with him, 5 players from Drake from his previous team, another one from Robert Morris. So he only has 2 players from Iowa's last year's roster on this team. And so that's been a big part for his instant success. And so anybody that can go into the portal, go in and recruit and get players is going to have that success quicker than other teams that have delays. I think that he's probably going to end up at somewhere like UNC. He's riding the lightning. If they offer him the job, he's going to take it. And When you get hot in March, it doesn't mean that you're going to be this longevity. It's a tournament, and so the Big Ten is a beast in a lot of ways, and it doesn't just mean that you recycle this and you can do it again. Like you beat some good teams and you pay you pay that respect, but I think you got to ride the wave. And if he gets offered the next job, you take it. You take the money. You take the everything that comes with that while you can, and you grab that money. That being said, his son is with Iowa, so he's probably going to, that's going to be a factor. Not that he can't take him with him, but there's some other factors. But I think that his recruiting of the Drake guys and then bringing them with him shows loyalty, shows that he can find guys that can win and play well. And so I think that he's not necessarily elite. There's a lot of good coaches, and we value these coaches for their longevity. And so you got to do it for longer. Now, if he's cutting down the nets this year, that's a different story. But there's a lot more to be said about all the coaches we talked about on the last podcast and how long they've done it for. And so he did it in D2 for a while. He's moved up and he's made a quick splash, but you got to do it for a long time to be considered, one of the top coaches. But I think he's on his way. I think he does a lot of things right, and he's made these games fun to watch in a way that you didn't expect.
Yeah, I think so. I know for sure this dude's a damn good basketball coach. It's probably a little too early to call him elite, but I mean, man, oh man, the track record is starting to build, right? So he won 4 D2 national titles. I don't care what division you're in. Winning four natties is 4 natties.
Right.
It's like Tony Anise at Ferris State on the football end. Like, you're doing a lot of things right to have that level of success. He goes to Drake, wins 30 plus games, wins a tournament game, and now he's got Iowa in the Elite 8 in his first year there. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I love the Signetti analogy. Like, this could be like year one Sig when we look back on McCollum and we're like, yeah, this guy's good. And if he backs it up and proves it again, then he moves into that elite category. But it's Iowa. And hey, Indiana was one of the worst football programs in the history of college football in the modern era. So it's not saying Iowa's been a solid basketball program, but they're definitely not a blue blood. I think if you can get a job like North Carolina or Kansas or any blue blood, he would be crazy not to take it. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, there are like 4 schools that are like college basketball schools, and if they come knocking, you got to answer that call. Like you don't get those types of opportunities very often. UNC, Duke, Kentucky, those schools are schools that if they call you and you want to be the college basketball guy, those are the schools that you're thinking about, that you dream about as a kid.
Yeah, so we'll see. He's got some opportunity out in front of him. Exciting for Iowa, exciting for a team in the Big Ten that you didn't think really was going to make a run. They've really been the best story of March Madness has been Iowa. So we'll see how it ends up shaking out. But I think when we look back on this, there's a solid chance like Ben McCollum, like this dude might be the fucking man. Like, he literally just might be the man. So if we can get him out of the Big Ten, let's get him out of the Big Ten for sure. All right, Corp. What's your topic of the week?
All right, let's keep this rolling with March Madness here. We got 6 Big Ten schools that made the Sweet 16, a historic number. How many of the Big Ten schools are going to make the Final Four?
Yeah, so obviously cheating, one of them's guaranteed, right? So
yeah. Well, let's not say 0.
yeah. So Illinois plays Iowa. So unless they both quit, and decide neither of them want to go to the Final Four. We are guaranteed one. I haven't wavered on it all year. I think I expect Rick's answer to be the same. Michigan is making the Final Four. I'm just not worried about Iowa State or Tennessee. I hope those aren't famous last words. I actually think Alabama would have been a bigger upset threat just because of how they play and how many threes that they shoot than either of those other two schools. So 2 for sure. So I'm going to go on the board with 2. Michigan State's getting pounded right now. That don't mean anything. But either way, even if they beat UConn tonight, I don't see them beating Duke. And then it just really comes down to Purdue versus Zona. I mean, I know how good Purdue is. They can beat Arizona, but man, oh man, Arizona looked really, really good the other night. So I'll go with 2. The bold answer would be 3. 4 is absolute crazy talk because I don't think Michigan State's getting there.
No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna say Purdue beats Arizona tomorrow. And why? Is because I'm going with Arizona's going to shit the bed like they always do.
And Purdue is a veteran team. That would not be a crazy upset. I know Arizona's favored by 6.5, but Purdue's stock full of seniors. They're big. They can shoot the 3. Like that would not surprise me at all. So Rick going bold. Rick going with 3. I know Corporal loves the Wildcats, so we'll see if he's changed his Michigan stance.
And he's got the you know, he's had it all even before March Madness starts. He's on the Purdue train.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Corporal's got Arizona in there, so it really just comes down to does he think Michigan's making it at this point?
After the first 2 games, I was talking to somebody and I said that Michigan's the best team. They have the best talent. They have the best path. Like they should obviously make it to the Final Four. Now, if it's Michigan, Arizona, I think that's going to be an excellent game, and like a fun game from a fan perspective. But obviously, Illinois or Iowa, Illinois, I think they played very well against Houston. Iowa's a different opponent, but they were able to match what Houston did. I think Illinois is going to be a strong contender, whoever they face in the Final Four. So I think Illinois is going to be there. Michigan State's not the team. If they can get past UConn, they're going to play against a Duke team that looks like they're getting healthier, and those guys are actually contributing right away. So Duke is looking like a better team. But Michigan, Illinois, I think Purdue's going to keep the game close, and it's going to be the hardest competition. But I still lean Arizona. The way they built that team and the guys on the roster, they've looked like the best team, or at least one of the 2 best teams in the tournament. But this is going to be the hardest competition. Purdue's not going to roll over. They're going to make it hard, and I expect a good game. It might be the best game of the Elite 8. So I think that it's something that I really think we're going to see.
So you are saying you do think Michigan's going to get there now? Like the Iowa State injury, how good Michigan's looked.
Yeah, it's just more on Michigan. They're dominant in a lot of ways. They've beaten teams, in a lot. And when I was thinking back on it, they had tired legs in the Big Ten tournament. And so you can't base what's going to happen in March on that. All year they've dominated teams, and it's going to come down to a collapse. Now, their free throw shooting tonight was not anything that you want to brag about. So they got to make their free throws in close games. That can't be a reason you lose. But it is in a lot of these games, and especially as things get tight and you start playing in these close games where things matter, where you've been used to blowing out teams, how are you guys going to perform? But from what I've seen, Michigan is an elite team, and they should be in the Final Four, like without a doubt.
Yeah, the free throw shooting was the only like concerning part of tonight. I think they shot like 55% from the line.
Yeah, it was
If it
awful.
if it's a closer game, you got to knock down your free throws. We've been a 75% free throw shooting team on the year, so this was abnormally bad. Not sure what was off there tonight, but yeah, in a closer game, you got to hit those 1-on-1s. You need those points to extend leads. We're lucky that we were up double digits and those misses didn't hurt down the stretch tonight. But man, when Michigan defends like they did tonight, they're just really tough to beat because we can score at every level. We can score inside, we can score mid range, we can shoot the threes. And when we can get out and defend the perimeter, that's been my biggest frustration as a Michigan fan this year. It's just we go through stretches where we struggle to defend the perimeter, the three ball. And then you see, like we did in the second half tonight, we just clamped them down. It was a great defensive effort, great adjustments. But okay, so me and Corp are on the record. We're both thinking Rick going bold with 3. We'll see how it shakes out. Who gets the bragging rights there? Either way, what we do know is the Big Ten was really fucking good this year and is making trying to make its claim that it is the superior conference for basketball. We know it dominates football, 3 straight national championship winners, but it may be the basketball alpha as well now. All right, Ricky, what do you got for us?
So I'm going to be switching over my topic of the week. I'm going to be switching over to the NBA. So the NBA MVP award, SGA, still the heavy favorite. But does Wemby, Luka, or Jokic have a chance, and are they worth betting on them?
Joker, no chance. This is a 2-man race. SGA is the favorite. He did have his odds take like a weird drop. He was minus 1,000 earlier in the week, and then he entered today at minus 500. Wemby is the dark horse here. The Spurs have been on fire. They've won, I believe, 23 out of 25 games. If the Spurs end up overtaking the Thunder and somehow get like the number 1 seed in the West, I think you could see Wemby take the MVP. I'm not sure they have enough horsepower. I don't mind betting Wemby just in case that happens, and then maybe even taking a cash out option down the line. But gun to my head, I mean, I think we talked about it on a past pod. NBA voters love giving the back-to-back MVP awards for some reason. So I think it will end up being SGA.
What do you got, Corp?
Yeah, very similar to what Sean said. I think that there's a lot of love for Wemby right now, and it's one of those things that you gotta make sure that if you give him the award and you don't have better numbers than Shea, that they have a better record. The defensive ratings are there, and so like you got to be able to justify it. And to do that, I think you're down 2 games in the standings right now. So OKC's got 57 wins, Spurs have 55. They're going to have to have the best record in order to give him the MVP. Now, I do think future MVPs is going to have his name written all over it. You might be able to pencil him in for next year's already. But as his minutes start to climb up more and more and he's on the court and dominating in the fashion he is, I think it's going to be hard to not give him more. And but for the time being, it's Shea's award to lose. He's got the numbers. He continues to play at a high level. He's the best player on his team. He's, for size and length and defense and what he does for that team, he is the catalyst to them being back-to-back champions. So I think that Shea probably wins it. I don't have any dogs in the race as of now, and I probably won't get in on it. I don't think Joker has a chance. They're not trying to give him the award again. There's a voter fatigue on that. And as long as Luka's on the Lakers with LeBron and the start of the season went the way it was, I don't think he can win it this year. I think that, he continues to play the way he's been playing over this last stretch for a whole season. He's the MVP, but he hasn't. And it's like they just started playing defense a month ago. And it's like, where was this at the whole time? So I think it's a two-man race. And right now Shea's in the lead with the record, which is key, but also with the statistics across the board. And to say that he's not the MVP would be like, show me where. What are you thinking, Rick?
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Corp. It is, SGAs to lose. Obviously, he can't. I don't know what his exact number is, but he can't miss many more games. And like Sean was saying, his odds were earlier in the week was 1,000, and then earlier it was around 500 when I looked at it, and now it's minus 320 on FanDuel, and Wemby's plus 270, and then Luka. I mean, let's be honest, he's never played defense ever. He sucks on defense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's plus 3,000, and Joker's up to like plus 10,000.
Hey,
So,
that is some major movement though. I do know the odds on these fluctuate pretty big. That's why I do like having futures when you can get the good odds, and not to bring them home, but to just for the cash out options.
right.
But yeah, that's
well, Wemby went out there
substantial.
and made a case for himself, and I think that
Yeah, I
ties
mean,
to
a
a
couple
lot of
weeks ago
the.
when before before Cade got hurt, even what was that? 2.5 weeks? Not even 3 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago when he got hurt?
Yeah, not even.
And
Like
Wemby wasn't even. And
half.
Wemby wasn't even in the top five. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean it changes fast. What you do down the stretch run matters. I think Cade would have been, obviously we would have had his name in the conversation if he didn't get the collapsed lung. So we'll see. It's SGA's to lose. I think he'll win it. But yeah, Wemby's going to get one sooner than later. That the Spurs are good. I don't know. Like the Spurs just get so much good lottery luck, and then they draft the right guys. But yeah, the Spurs are going to be a pain in the ass for the next decade.
And
Until
Wemby really doesn't even
until Wemby gets
until
hurt, he'll eventually
yeah,
he won't be able to hold up.
like we spoke about before. I mean, I think he'll probably last around 10 years. Like you
So
said, the next decade.
all right, let's go on to the local topic. This is a Detroit-based podcast. We always want to throw in a little bit of local flavor. We've got our Verner's local topic of the week, and we're talking baseball. Kevin McGonigle, he lit Detroit sports on fire with his debut. He went 4 for 5 after a red hot spring training. The kid looks like he is the real deal Holyfield. Will Kevin McGonigle be a superstar, or is he on the precipice already?
Yeah, I think it's a fun notion to think that he could be a superstar. To add, somebody to the team that could be good right off the bat and be, thrown to the wolves and then rise to the occasion. I think that's awesome. Baseball is a thing of longevity statistics. It's a long season, and so you can't just take what you did in one game and pay the man a multi-million-dollar contract like that. So I would say he's on his way to it, but keep proving it, and you'll have the fans behind you in Detroit will love you forever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, start a freaking giant bandwagon of he's a superstar on the cusp of being one already. I mean, it's one game. Let's cool the jets here. But yeah, I mean, he had a great spring training. I mean, he looked great in that first game. Other than that, that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Debbie fucking Downer Rick over here. I'm full leather. He passes the eye test. He's a contact
For one game.
He's
One
a
game.
contact hitter. He's built like a brick shithouse, got like a Mike Trout build to him. I think he's gonna be an absolute superstar. He's gonna win the Rookie of the Year. I think you'll see the Tigers sign him to a extension that makes sense for both sides, and I think you'll see it sooner than later. If he continues the hot start the month of April, don't be surprised you see like an 8-year, $120 million, $140 million deal come down the pipeline, something that makes sense for McGonigle to lock up his future, but then the Tigers to get a stud at like a $15-18 million a year clip. So
he's the heavy
full
favorite,
lather, baby.
He's the heavy favorite on Vegas Insider for the Rookie of the Year for the MLB right now. So plus 275, and the next closest is plus 400. So, but it's early, and to be at plus 275 already, that means he's taking some money.
Yeah, who even is number 2?
So it's Chase DeLauder, and then Kazuma Akamoto. Those are the next 2 behind him.
So what you're telling me, he's winning Rookie of the Year?
Sounds like it.
No, well, obviously, baseball's a long season, right? 162 is 162, but man, I just think this guy's got a great hit tool. He sees the ball. He puts the ball in play. It's not like when Torkelson was making his debut and there was a ton of swing and miss strikeouts and that type of stuff that you had to work through. He's a different type of player. He's I don't think the home run power is necessarily going to be there right now. I don't expect him to hit 30 jacks, but I think he can hit 15 to 20 jacks, hit close to 300, ton of doubles. He's fast, man. He's fast too. Full lather. There's just I think he is as close to can't miss of a prospect that the Tigers have had in a long time, like probably since Verlander. So I think you're going back 20 plus years that we've had this level of prospect where my confidence meter is that high, where I'm like, it's like when the Pistons got Cade, right? Like we knew Cade was going to be good. It was just how good. And obviously he's a superstar now. So I think McGonigle is that level. All righty. We're moving on to our second segment in our Degens on Sports. It's the Gambling Gurus.
Gambling Gurus Weekend Bets.
Weekend bets. So we did our special March Madness episode, and then we laid an egg. The boys went 0 for 3. We all took a loss last week. I had USF. I should have took them plus the points. I would have got a cover, but I went bold because I have a nut sack, and I took them to win outright as a dog. They outplayed Louisville, but lost. Corporal, just too many 5 seeds. He had the 5 seed money line parlay. That made me nervous. And then Wisconsin bit him in the ass. And then Rick did the cardinal sin. He bet on the Buckeyes. Can't bet on the Buckeyes. Every time you do, they will fuck you. So fuck Ohio State. And that was our 0 for 3. We are getting down to the nitty gritty, though, boys. We are getting into that final stretch of the second interval. It wraps up next week. So there's not a lot of time to move the standings. We had a couple weeks off where we didn't count the bets in terms of the standings with Corporal being gone. Right now, it is Corporal leading the way with 1 point. Dun Diesel behind him in second with a half point. And we got Rick, Mr. Hardwood, currently on sitting on Baltic with crack with 0 points. Before we get into our bets of the week, let's continue to build that potential punishment pool up, the PPP. So how this works, if you lose a betting interval, the guy who wins that interval gets to assign you a punishment. It's supposed to be degrading. It's supposed to be humiliating. It's supposed to be something that you are not going to want to do, but something that you earned and deserved because you sucked. So we will get into the punishment suggestion vote. We do got to put Corporal on the spot. Time is a ticking. We're still waiting for him to get that full set of acrylics. Corporal, where are we standing update wise on getting a date on the calendar?
Yeah, we'll get something on the date soon. I'm making a little job change here, so once that is in the final stages here, then I'll be able to put something on the board, and we can take care of this, and I can get this over with.
So should the Army expect at least a date on the calendar by next week? Not that the date will be within the week, but
next week I'll know.
Next episode we should have a date on the calendar when this is actually going down.
Yeah, that should be easy to do once I.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Army, you heard it. We will have a date, and we are getting into the crunch time of interval 2, so a lot of exciting things going on. Corporal had some weird life events all shake down at the same time. Getting married, changing jobs, and then so how this will work ideally though is the punishment has to be completed before the next betting interval ends moving forward. That's how we're going to try to keep it relevant. We don't want these to stack up. Basically, these intervals, they're 6 throughout the year. They're essentially every 2 months, give or take, and we align them with major moments on the sports calendar. So just to let you guys know, we will try to keep it in that time frame moving forward. Corp gets a pass on this one. He is still obviously absolutely going to have to take his punishment. It's just a little bit more delayed calendar-wise than we will operate moving forward. All right, let's continue to build up that PPP. Corporal, what do you got for us in terms of your punishment suggestion?
I am suggesting a date with a stuffed animal. So we will dress up a stuffed animal in a nice, pretty dress for you, maybe one of those big Costco bears, and you will have a dinner for 2, and you will sit down and enjoy a date with your stuffed animal on a busy evening, so that way everyone can make sure they see you, and maybe you'll get lucky at the end of the night.
Yeah, I mean, this one's brutal. I was thinking potentially in terms of, I like the idea. My only other thought was stuffed animal and or blow up doll. Winner's pick. What's the thoughts there? I think both are equally bad and pretty humiliating.
They're both pretty bad. I mean, the blow up doll kind of feels even worse. It's one of those things that like the stuffed animal can be like kind of like swept under the rug in certain ways, but like we all know what happens with the blow up doll.
Yeah, and in the blow up doll, there's a good chance that the people in there are like, this guy's an absolute weirdo and he's serious. Like
he's a crazy person.
That's his girl. You know what I mean? Like that's his girl. Or even better, we'll have it a blow up doll dude that you gotta go on a date with. But yeah, no, this one's an easy yes for me on this one.
Yeah, me too.
All right, into the pool. I definitely think this number gets called at some point for someone and somewhere down the line. So good one added in. Rick, what's yours?
So my suggestion is a hold a car wash, clean the winner's cars at a busy gas station or store parking lot while wearing a ridiculous outfit.
So the logistics on this one scares me, right? Like, how are you going to get water hookup and then getting kicked out? Or getting like the old classic, like, you're not allowed to do this here. So I have some logistical concerns around this. I think it's a pretty good premise, but there's definitely some logistic kinks. Where was your head on this one, Corp?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things it's funny if we could get enough of a turnout on the right day, like it almost have to be a weekend. It almost, we would have to like, pull some strings or know somebody that would have the spot. Because not only, I mean, you could probably get by with certain water,
or you could
buckets.
rent a power washer or something.
So the what I would like is the loser has to do a car wash, but for the public, and you have to go until you get a certain amount of cars. You know what I mean? Like have them out there like shaking the sign, and then like trying to bring cars in, and then have to go out there and clean the vehicles and something that you wouldn't want to be wearing.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Are you doing the and would the washes be free?
No, paid washes. Like you need people like paid car wash. Like for this one, I'm imagining like this getting assigned to beach, and then like beach having to get enough people to come in and be like, I'm gonna let this grown man
I
wash my car.
I just got a text for a special offer for a car wash today.
Was it from Beach? I think this has enough in it that I like the premise. I'm gonna vote yes. We can figure out the logistics, but I definitely want the caveat that like we can agree on the dollar amount down the line, but I think it has to be a for-profit car wash, and that's the beauty of it. Because a free car wash is like most people will take a free car wash. You know what I mean? Like they see it if they got the time. Oh yeah, this guy's gonna wash my car. Who cares if he's a weirdo if it's free? But yeah, you start putting on there.
You would definitely get enough people real quick.
Yeah, $5 a wash or something, and you're like, not giving this fucking weirdo $5 to wash my car. So yeah, I'm in. Corp, what's your thought?
I just don't know that I'm choosing this one for somebody else out of the pool. But I mean, I think it's one that we can add, and it's doable. It's just about there's a lot of logistical stuff that we have to do.
It would definitely have to be a summer thing. You would have to get permit. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. So, like, the winner would have to want to do some legwork on it. So I feel you. It might not be one that gets used, but I think it's worth throwing in there.
Yeah, I'm a yes, but at the end of the day, I doubt that it's the one that we choose to humiliate the others with the list that we accumulated.
Yep. We're on the same page there. So mine is this. You have to lead a PETA protest outside of a high-end steakhouse, and you have to collect a certain amount of signatures on your petition for them to no longer serve steak.
I think with this too, you're looking at probably needing a permit to not get kicked out immediately, because any good establishment is going to send the manager out and say, get off my property. But I think
hey, at what point, like, so here's the thing, right? None of us want to get arrested or any type of thing there, but there's no way you listen on the first get off my property, right? Like if you're like on the sidewalk, like how far do you push the envelope if we get into one of those situations?
I think it comes down to the interaction with like the patrons that are walking in. If they're all like, fuck off, then you're going to be out of there quicker. If more people are like interested in having a dialogue and discussing what you have to say, then it's like easier to kind of keep it going. But if everybody's like, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, and then the manager is like, we're going to call the police if you don't leave, it makes it so it's like, oh, this has been like negative and now I'm being a pest. So it's like it can be, challenging from that perspective. You go to the right place though, and you're going to have, people on your side, and like you're going to sway some opinions.
What about an added layer of the loser would have to wear like a vegetable costume or something, and like have a eat more vegetables. So we'll take a Chick-fil-A spin, not eat more chicken, eat more veggies, and the dude's dressed up like a giant stock of broccoli out there trying to accumulate
Yeah.
these
Because if at the end of the day you could just
signatures.
have to go somewhere else. You could go towards a mall and you have to get a couple signatures anywhere you go wearing that broccoli costume.
yeah, and I where I think this has legs though, as we're talking through this too, like, so the loser's in the broccoli costume, like that's gonna be electric for one. But if we get asked to leave, we do it in a city where there's multiple options, and we literally just go to the next steakhouse. And he has to go out there again until we can get some accumulation there. But I think obviously we don't want to push it to the point of arrest, but I think you burn it down till it's close, and then you leave, and then you go to the next place. And I think if we strategically pick the right city, we can pick an area where there's enough options within like 5 to 10 minute range to bounce it around. So what do we think, boys?
I vote yes.
I vote yes too.
All right, we're 3 for 3, 3 added in. We will see if they get used at some point. The winner, that this potential punishment pool is building up, man. The winner is going to have a lot of options, a lot of choices, a lot of power, a lot more power in this interval, and that will only continue to grow. All right, let's get into it. It's the picks.
The Hardwood King.
Young
my pick
Richard, lead us off.
So my pick of the week is going to be the Sixers and Hornets over 230.5. The Sixers almost have everybody back. Paul George is fresh back off his suspension. Embiid's back, and Maxey is a game time decision tomorrow. And then you got the Hornets. They don't play a lot of. They're a run and gun team. They don't play a lot of defense. Shoot a lot of threes. Make a lot of threes as well. And the Sixers are also fresh off their record-setting victory the other night. They scored, I think it was they're the fifth team in NBA history to score 157 points. So the over 230.5. Catch it over on FanDuel minus 110.
All right, King, and where can the rest of the Alpha Army find your daily picks that you just continue to win, and it's an absolute heater? Where can they find those picks beyond the pod?
So on X, you can find it at Alphas Talk Pod, and on Facebook, Alphas Talk Podcast. Apologize for this week. I've been really busy with some personal and family stuff, but the money trains keep on rolling. I only put out a bet per day this week, but we'll be back into the about 5 to 7 bets per day going forward, including starting tomorrow. So get on the money train and stop playing catch up ball to the king.
All right, you heard it here first.
The Hardwood King.
The Hardwood King.
The Prowler Picks.
Prowler.
So I'm going back to the madness. I got a little 2-team money line for us, Illinois and Arizona. I think that these favorites here combined gets us at minus 116. I think it's an easy slam dunk. Both these teams advance. I don't think it's as easy with Arizona, but I think definitely Illinois will advance. But the minus 300 doesn't get us there, so we need a little something to add to it. Out of the games that are available to me, I like Arizona to win. And that makes it minus 116. And I think those are, easy teams to advance to the next round and get us some money in our pocket.
Yeah, I think that's a stellar bet, man. I would be like I said, I think Illinois is gonna get it done, right? But man, maybe Benny Jesus McCollum leads them to the Final Four year one. We'll see. I like it. I am sticking obviously with the madness. I am an absolute sicko. I can't get enough of it. I'm staying on topic. I'm going Arizona Purdue alternate over 148. That clocks in at minus a $1.90 on DraftKings. I think both teams are going to want to try to get up and down. Purdue and Arizona can both knock down the three. They both can score down low. I think it's going to be one of those games that is going to be back and forth and down to the end. And I just think it clears that number with some relative ease. So we moved it about 5 points off the total with the alt, and we are going Zona Purdue over 148.
The Diesel Diamond.
For the Diesel Diamond of the week, baby. All right. And then we added the group parlay component. We are going to fucking hit one. We are going to get them rolling. The group parlay does have its own caveats, though. It has to be an against the spread or money line winner that's under minus 200 or a money line dog. So for the group parlay, Rick is sticking with his standings bet. So it's going to be Sixers, Hornets over 230.5. Corporal is coming in with Purdue plus 6.5. And I am going to roll with Illinois minus 7.5. So you add those in, it ends up being plus 559. So we got Illinois minus 7.5, Purdue plus 7.5, Sixers, Hornets over 230.5. Boys, how do we feel about the group parlay?
I like it. I mean, I'm confident in Richard's play. I think that it's a smart play on his part. I think that Purdue's going to keep it close. They're a team that Arizona hasn't played a good team yet, and they're going to have to face that. The 7.5 with Illinois is just a little bit concerning because they're going to be in a unique situation where they know Iowa, but Iowa knows Illinois. They know what needs to be done. They have game plans that have worked before. But I think by the end of the game, they're going to cover. It's just it might be tight through a period of time, but Iowa's done it to some good teams so far. So that's the hesitation on the 7.5. But I think Illinois is the far better team.
Yeah, it's just literally it's just a percentage play, right? I think Iowa's obviously hot. Illinois is just a superior team, though, definitely offensively. And if Illinois dictates the pace, they cover easy. But the great thing about Illinois right now is they proved in that Houston game that they can slop it up and play in the mud too. And
absolutely
it did not help my bracket, but they really impressed me with how they played yesterday, beating Houston in Houston and playing Houston style of ball and really just out Houstoning Houston. So, and we haven't saw much of that over the last 5 years with these Houston teams that Kelvin Sampson has had. So that is the bet. We will see how it shakes out. But man, oh man, we got some big games this weekend on the hardwood. Full send, rock hard, baby, full mass, March Madness in full gear. Okay, it's time for the Alphas in Action segment number 2. And we'll start that off with our question of the week.
Question of the week.
question of the week. So our Alphas in Action segment shifts from sports and focuses more on life. The questions of the week is that burning, dying to know, happy hour, group text, water cooler topic of the week that you need the alpha authority on, and we are here to deliver it. I will lead us off, and my question of the week is kids out of the equation. Is your preference to stay up late or wake up early? And this is obviously assumptive that you got to get your sleep in, not just say, oh, I do both. So assuming you're going to sleep your 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever you normally do, what's the preference here? Stay up late or wake up early?
So I'd have to say 100% it's wake up early. I mean, you wake up early, you attack the day, as the old timer saying goes, the early bird gets the worm. So it's wake up early all day for me.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not surprising to hear from Richard.
Where do you stand on it, Court?
From an actual thing, like all the sports are on at night, so I end up staying up late to watch the games. If I didn't have kids, I would not be waking up at 6:30 in the morning. If your job doesn't make me waking up at 9:30, 10 o'clock is fine, and I'll sleep in and stay up late. Everything I want to do is, later in the evening. And I'm a night owl. I find it hard when I have to be places early in the morning. It sucks. I'm not a morning person. Mornings suck. And it takes me a cup of coffee or two before I'm ready to go anyway. So by the time it's midnight, I'm caffeined up. I'm ready to go. I got my caffeine and my nicotine. I'm good. And so I'm a night owl. I'll choose the night if I didn't have kids. But because I got kids, I know that like 6 a.m. is coming no matter what.
Yeah. So that's why the preface had to be their kids out of the equation, right? Because they just dictate like you're gonna be up. So, and you make your adjustments around that. I did pose this question because I thought I thought you guys would be split. So you went the way that I thought. And man, because I've been sort of torn on this, but you guys both make some really good points. The sports being on late point is key, though, because if you're waking up early, that means you're dozing off definitely and missing the majority of the later action in the sports. But as I've gotten older, man, I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm going with Rick, man. My preference is to wake up early. I think when you attack the day out of the chute, and whether that's like with a workout or knocking out your key parts of your work day that you can control from the office or something like that, I think it just sets the table for a really productive, strong, good day. And it just makes you feel good, man. You're off and you're buzzing. And when the rest of the world is maybe still snoozing and you've already had some accomplishments for the day, I think that's the preference. And it's just really about dialing in what time that is. And I do want to make a caveat. So look, I recently got a new boss, had our intro conversation, and this dude's a psycho. So this dude wakes up at 3:30 a.m. Like, now that's absurd. Like, that's nuts. So with that caveat, like if you're waking up that early, like on the Mark Wahlberg type shit, you lose me there. Like that's abnormal. Because that means you're going to bed at like 9:30 consistently. And 3:30 is just not a time a human should wake up at unless you're forced to, or it's a one-off.
It is a crazy wake-up time.
3:30, dude. So the morning gym routine is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love it. Like working out in the morning, because if not, you get too busy with kid stuff, work stuff, whatever, you're not going to get it done. So the morning workout is the only way, but not that early. Yeah, he was saying that he had booked a golf simulator time for 5 a.m. His time slot was 5 a.m. on the
Oh
golf
my
sim.
God.
Like, Jesus Christ. But he said, he's like, dude, I'm up and humming. Like, I wake up.
Yeah, but he's going to bed when the sun's still up.
So
That's like me. I just switched from my work day was 8 to 4:30, but I just made the switch, got promoted, and 6 to 2:30. So now, I mean, I wake up at 5, and that's pretty damn early. But what I've been doing is I come home, I get off at 2:30, and come home, take a shower, and I take a freaking most days I take like a 2.5 hour power nap.
Yeah, so you can stay up late to watch the games. That's why the night is king. We do the morning because it fits with the lifestyle, and you can attack the morning whatever time you wake up. But like, there's like a thing about like being up before everybody else. It's like a personal victory that you get. And so like when you get up and everybody else is sleeping, you're attacking the part of the day that no one else is. And so it's like you're like capitalizing. But when you do it to the point where you're sacrificing your evenings with your kids and your family, because I got to go to bed at 6:30, that's where it becomes like, no, that's not the purpose of this.
Yeah, and the obvious disclaimer there is Rick, being a single dude with no kids, can take those power naps. Like, those power naps are fucking epic, dude. A lot of us do not have those luxuries. I can't remember the last time that I was able to get a midday.
It's like I'm getting to the pickup line early and closing my eyes before it's my turn to drive forward.
I actually dream of being able to take those naps. So the fact that Rick can do that on a daily basis is definitely one of those single no kid life benefits. But man, oh man, those power naps are money, man. They're absolutely
Another thing too, like, when we have group text or the golf trip or just going out golfing, I always want to go the first time out between 6 and 7 a.m. because there's no one fucking out.
See, so yeah, I'm really a tough one on this because I don't want to golf at 6 a.m. either. Like I'm a big like let's tee off at like 9:30 guy. So, but
The earlier there's no one out there, and the weather's perfect, and it ain't too hot yet. If it's gonna be if it's gonna be 90 degrees out that day,
I mean,
I don't want to start golfing at 9:30 and taking the turn at 1.
Yeah, I mean, if it's hot, and like, or if you are golfing down south or something, like, yeah, you have to get out early because you just can't be golfing at the height of the sun. It just will give you heat stroke. So I feel you on that. Like, if it's above 80, like mid to upper 80s or higher, like, yeah, let's get off early. Let's beat this sun. Okay, Court, what do you got for us? Question of the week.
All right. So, Death, the Grim Reaper, approaches you and offers to extend your life, but only if you beat him in one game. What game are you choosing?
Well, for me, it's gonna have to be since I'm King Hardwood, it's gonna have to be a game of horse, baby. It's gonna have to be a game of horse. No other game I'm choosing.
Rick, I would bet on Death in that game.
Wait, you're picking horse? Like basketball horse? Like your home court? Like you get home court advantage. You know where the cracks are, where the rim is slightly tilted, and you can, maybe, I don't know. Basketball is not one I'm choosing, and
Rick has always thought that he's better at basketball than he really is. Like, he's got hoop dreams. He's always thought he's a 3-point bomber. So,
when's the last time you shot a basketball?
It was actually about a month ago.
All right. I mean, more recent than my.
I thought long and hard on this, and the game that I'm most confident in myself on that I've played thousands of matches, literally thousands of matches, and I've never really went up against someone, even on the times I have lost where I'm like, oh, I was outmatched. It's beer pong for me. I'm a gamer. I'm clutch. I can bring the balls back. I can hit the tripler. Well, I can play however you want to play, but if we get to pick at my rules, that's even better. But it's I got the eye, man. I got the eye. I got the bullet. I got the shot. And like I said, if I just look at the totality of my win-loss record on something that I've done in terms of like a crazy amount of times throughout my life, my win-loss record in beer pong, I have to be 900 winning percentage or higher. Like there's just no doubt about it. So yeah, that's got to be the choice.
Yeah, I could see you and Death kind of sharing some brewskis after the game and singing some songs. Is like you're changing his song off the jukebox and rocking out. So yeah, that's a good one that you said that, because I mean you're one of the best beer pong players I know, if not the best, without thinking too hard about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm ecstatic that it's on record too now. You fucking heard it. No, but it is like me and Corporal back in the day, team Sink and Drink. But yeah, we played a lot of ball, and yeah, I think I'm elite, so I would take my chances there.
Yeah, I was thinking about what I would go with. At one point in my life, it would have been an easy Madden, but if you make me play the current Madden, I don't know that I have the ability that one would need to win at a high, not a high level, but like consistently win. It would take some time, and like games of Madden are an hour long, and I don't have hours of Madden time. But one game that I was playing the other day that I think that I'm very elite at, and it is GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64. And I have beat multiple people that told me they were good at it throughout my life. We were at basement parties and people brought it out, and I was crushing people that were like apparently the best ever, which can't be if you're losing to me. So that is one game that I feel confident in, that I remember the maps. I remember it's not Call of Duty. It's not these new shooter games. It is the GoldenEye. And I would be odd job and I would crouch down so I have the smallest hit target. And I'd come get you, and I'm going to strafe left and right, and it's going to be hard to get me. And if you best me, you best me. But I feel very confident that I could extend my life with the GoldenEye.
I thought that you still might go Madden. So like just to give the Army some background, like Corporal took his like pride like in terms of his Madden ability, and yeah, and when he beat you, he would just set the controller down and walk away just in his glory. But yeah, I was curious what direction you were going to go. I definitely would not have seen Rick going with horse. That's good though. But I figured you would go maybe video game route. But the old GoldenEye, man, definitely a classic.
Yeah, when you think about my sports history, it's a lot of team sports. So I would need something where I would, like me and the guy were good at 2-on-2 football, but that doesn't really fit what we're doing here. It's got to be something 1-on-1. And so it narrowed down where my abilities would be best used.
Yeah.
And I think this GoldenEye was one that like it's on me, and I feel confident that I'm going to run through it.
Yeah, I love it. Troy may disagree off grip, dude. I don't think he would agree with that take. I think he thinks that
it was his basement party that I was running through all his brother's friends and everybody in there, and they couldn't believe it. I had to like stop playing because we were trying to party.
Yeah. Okay, young Richard.
So, my question of the week is: one night with the hottest woman of your dreams, or your team winning it all, which one are you choosing? You only get one.
I want to hear Corporal's answer first.
Can I biff this and bet on it? No.
Corporal loves that. That's going to be an underrated bit moving forward because you fucking really want that sports almanac.
I
Like,
do. I would.
He does.
Yeah. I think it is. It just keeps coming back around. So
it keeps coming back around because you think about that shit on like a regular basis. Like, what if you had
Bam, right to it.
Yeah,
what
I
if
mean,
you
that,
had the
it's
sports
just right
almanac?
there. What do you mean? If I knew that my team was going to win, I would bet it and choose that one, and then everything's a possibility now. That's tough because like I think about the teams that I have seen win, and recently, Michigan has won it. Wouldn't say any of the Michigan schools. It would have to be the Lions if I picked the team. And so it's like, okay, the Lions are that, and man, that's tough because it's like I just got married a week ago, 2 weeks, a month ago.
Are you
And
trying not to? Are you trying not to incriminate yourself here, man?
potentially? So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Lions, and I'll choose the Lions winning it all, and so we'll go forward with that.
Yeah. So this is a great question. The reality is that one night of pleasure that you might look back on and could be a fantastic night for you, but it's just one night, and championships last fucking forever. So I'm going with the ship. I'm going with the ship. I know it might be surprising, but I'm going with the championship. You can never take that away. You can relive that glory, and it's on the books forever. So give me the ship. Give me the ship. Give me Michigan basketball winning it this year, man. We've had a couple heartbreaks in our adult life with Michigan basketball. 2013, I thought we're going to get it done against Louisville until the ref show took us out of the game late. 2018, we were dogs against Villanova, and no one was beating Villanova that year. But just to get there again, I would like to see Michigan basketball get it across the finish line, because when we won it in '89, I was 2. No, I was probably 1. I wasn't even 2. So, yeah. The same with the Tigers too, man. Like, we got a lot of good options. I mean, obviously, if we were only going to pick one, I think we all picked the Lions. We've seen the Pistons and Wings win in our lives, in our adult lives, and then with Michigan football, obviously. So I think the choice would be Tigers, Lions, Michigan basketball. Lions would be number 1, but I think you can't go wrong with any of those when you start talking 84 for the Tigers and 89 for Michigan hoops in terms of their last title. And then you're talking fucking never for the Lions.
Right. So I would also agree with you, and it's a ship, man. It's like you said, you can always, it's always going to be one night, but with, a championship is for fucking ever, and you're never going to forget, or about that.
Rick,
Might not
Rick,
forget about.
you're a single man though, man. Don't you need that booty, dude?
No, I'd rather want the championship.
All right.
I mean,
Rick,
the way I put it is like my dad this year is going to be 81. I'm 41. Maybe
Rick
42. And
sacrificing clapping cheeks for the greater good of the teams, man. I love it.
yeah, and my dad was what? Let's see. The Lions last time they won, he was what, like 12, 13 years old when they won in 57, and haven't won it since. Might not
Yeah.
win it ever again. Might not
And
see it.
and that don't even, like, it counts for the people that were alive, but it doesn't count to like the general sports population if it's pre Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, 67 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Good question. Good question. All right, we did add a component to the question of the week to try to get the listeners, the Alpha Army, involved. You can hit us with the question of the week on our Twitter at Alphas Talk Pod. Slide in the DMs right on the wall. Get us in there. Our question this week came from Joey Two Dimes, and it's about the service industry. Do you prefer to tip your waiters or waitresses, etc., or would you rather the menu be higher priced with zero tipping expectations? Assuming
So
the
for me,
server at that point would get paid a real wage, $20, $25 an hour, something like that they could actually make a living on.
right, but then it would be I would prefer to tip over the menu being more high priced because they're going to get their automatic money per hour, so the service is obviously going to go down. Working for tips, the service is going to be better. Always going to be better.
So I cannot agree with you more on this, Rick. I'm a big incentive laden guy, and I think if your livelihood, how much money you make that day while you're even there, is tied to how good a service you deliver, you're gonna put in a little more. You're gonna try a little harder. And overall, that's why I think tipping culture in terms of sit down restaurants works, because it is nice to be waited on. But yeah, I don't want my drinks going empty. I want that person to hustle. I want a good high level of service. And I think if everyone was just paid hourly, trust me, I've worked at jobs where you're paid hourly. And there's days where there's not much incentive for you to be an all-star.
To go above and beyond, yeah.
Yeah. You're in the bathroom taking a 45-minute deuce on company time, and not too worried about customer service. I can tell you that from experience. So for me, it's definitely I would rather tip. Now, I do think that the tipping culture has gotten completely egregious, to the point where, if I'm being asked to tip everywhere now, that it's just insane. No, I don't want to tip the guy at Jersey Mike's.
Right.
That made my sub, right? Now that guy should just be getting paid a livable wage and not being expecting tips for making my steak and cheese.
Yeah, you guys are definitely onto something. As somebody that spent many, many years in the service industry, you're going to lose a quality of service by paying them hourly. You bust your ass, whether that's getting the tables clean so the next people come. That's where you're going to have the biggest. The wait times are going to increase. People aren't going to care to flip tables. To get to, you're going to have, oh, you want to be here for 2 hours? Great. Let me get you another drink. You want a dessert? You can stay here for 3 hours. I'm getting paid whatever. But when it's
$60.
Yeah, when I'm getting paid the same amount, I don't care. But if I needed you to get up, I'm pre-bussing. I'm getting everything cleaned up so that way you are gone. There's nothing left on your table. Why are you still here? Go. I need to get this at. And so there's a whole level of business that goes into it and mindset. You're going to lose, quality of service. You're not going to get, and you're going to have to pay more because you're going to get charged for everything. You're going to get charged for everything. Your extra ranches, your extra ketchups, your extra everything is going to be included somewhere in the bill that before the server was just going to sweep it under the rug. Oh, your kids' milk. And now they do a lot of that now, but when you're trying to earn a tip, you're not trying to. I'd rather you give me the $2 than me charge you for the $2 ranch, and there's that give and take between customer and server that happens. But from where we are now, I'd rather just pay if this is what the type of service I'm going to get anyway is shitty. And most times I'm like,
that was the counterpoint. So like in terms of like if you were gonna take you'd rather just pay. The counterpoint would be the average service I get right now is shitty. So
yeah, just give me an iPad. I'll ring it in myself. I'll pay myself. Just run my food and drinks to me as I hit the button. Like, I don't even need a server. It's like, it's pointless at this point. Like,
but it is nice being waited on, man. So at least for me, I enjoy being waited on in terms of sit down restaurants. It's nice to have someone.
I think it's nice not to have to do all the dishes and the cleanup and the cooking. That part's the nice part. That's what I'm paying for.
That's a huge component too. But I was dying to hear your perspective on this from a dude that was in the restaurant industry for 15, 20 years, whatever you were. There's no doubt though that service would go to another level of shitty though, right? Like it would drop. Even if you're one of those people out there right now that thinks like the average service you get is garbage, it would be hotter garbage, right? Like there's no doubt.
Yeah, or you're gonna have only people. I mean, no, you're just like gonna have people playing on their phones, vaping, whatever it is that we do as servers
taking
already.
Extended,
taking extra smoke breaks.
I was gonna say extended smoke breaks.
But the phone would be rampant, right? Because I think generally servers are pretty conscientious of not being on their phone, because if someone catches them on their if you see your server on your phone and your drink's empty, like that could hurt their tip for some people. You know what I mean? So I think there is a conscientious effort by most servers to not get caught or not be on the phone. That would go completely out the window if they're getting paid hourly.
Yeah,
completely out the window.
And bad service has kept me away from restaurants. It's like, I'm not going to go spend $50 for us to go out to eat when I'm going to get shitty service. Sure. I know how easy your job is. Like, why did it take so long for you to get the food to us? Like, there's nobody here.
And obviously you're a tough critic. You're like, you know what I mean? So
I'm probably the worst critic. Like, I've trained and done the whole nine across the restaurant. And so it's like, I know what the standards are. Why did it take you 5 minutes to come greet us? Like what's going on?
A quick thing, since we're based in Michigan, we're about to experience this in a couple of years, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They were talking
about. No, they passed the law. I think it was last year, and I think it goes into effect in it's either 2027 or 2028.
But there'll still be
every
tipping.
Food service worker will be. Yeah, but every food service worker, including, people are just going to get rid of the people that seat people. They're not going to pay them $15 to $17 an hour automatically. They're just going to get rid of them and have the waitresses and waiters do that.
People. But the big scam is the fact that the servers tip out everybody else, and that's where they lose out on the money, and that's why the tips keep inflating, because I got to give 20% away. And so, I got to tip the bartender, I got to tip the food runner, I got to tip the AppSco, I got to tip the to-go, all these. Boy. Yeah, the busboy. Now I've given, a ton of my money away, which can be helpful when you're making money, but it's at the same time, it's like, okay.
Yeah, when it's slow and you got to tip those people out, it has to be brutal. It just has to be.
Especially when it's
I think that those people will just, like the hostesses and the busboys, those people will, at a lot of places, I think, will just disappear and not exist anymore. Because they won't, I mean, they're not going to need
it. If it was my business, I would take away servers, and you would have a section that you guided. I'd run your drinks, I'd run your food, I'd help you get everything you needed, I'd clean the tables. But I'm not your server. You're ringing everything you want on this iPad. Now I have no liability of doing it wrong. You didn't click no tomatoes. Sorry. It said it right there. And
and you'll definitely see some transitional stuff there, because there's going to be a certain percentage of the population that struggles to tip once they know that, the server's making $15 an hour instead of $3 an hour or whatever it is. You'll definitely have a percentage that's there's no way I'm going to tip 20% on top of that. So it's will there be a new standard tip, Or, I mean, I know the answer on the server end is going to be like, no, just still continue to tip me 20%. But I don't think that the average person will. I think some will, but I think you'll see some people are like, no, I'm not tipping you 20% anymore because everything on the menu went up because they had to pay you more. So we'll see how it shakes out. I'm a proponent of tipping. I wish they wouldn't have passed the law. Just keep it like it is. Reward good service with tipping. But yeah, I'm not sure paying them ever 15, 20, 25 bucks an hour. I'm not sure that's the right solution, even though that's what they do the rest of the world. So maybe it is. But we shall see. All right, let's shift it into the recommendations of the week.
Weekly recommendation.
All right, this is a movie, show, music, drink, food, health, wealth recommendation, something tangible, something that you can put into motion immediately upon listening to this segment of the show. I am going to kick us off, and mine's one that a lot of men don't do. They don't think about, and it is to moisturize your face and your neck daily. Father Time is undefeated, but you can help delay that aging process. And a key to that is keeping your skin looking youthful. If you don't moisturize, you end up with dry skin. That dry skin cracks over time. Those cracks become more pronounced and you look weathered. So make sure you're getting that neck region in. I encourage a morning and night routine, but at least minimal once a day. Buy yourself a high quality face moisturizer that you apply after getting out of the shower or whatever you do for your morning routine. Feed that skin. It's thirsty. Give it that drink of water. It feels good. You'll notice the difference and you will look younger. All right, Court.
Yeah.
Recommendation.
Well, you gotta hydrate from the inside and the outside. So that's a good one, Sean.
Yeah.
My recommendation is go after limited time items on these fast food menus. Once they hit regular menu, they don't make as good quality anymore. They're thrown together in the ways that these regular menu items already are. So currently, Taco Bell has a couple items that are alpha that I highly recommend. Now, this is coming from somebody that is a documented anti-Taco Bell person, but my wife loves it, and it's one of those things that it's kind of it happens from time to time, and it's grown on me. So the first item is the jalapeno honey mustard crispy chicken crunch wrap slider. It was amazing. Highly recommend it. And the other one is the creamy chipotle crispy chicken crunch wrap slider. Both of these were great. And I am not somebody that goes around loving Taco Bell, but I found these to be fire. And I know that eventually they'll make their way on the menu and they will no longer be fire. They will be regular, like a smolder.
Yeah, dude, this is a serious. This recommendation has some serious heat. I haven't had either of those items. I know you're not a huge Taco Bell guy. I am a Taco Bell slap. I think Taco Bell is the greatest true fast food of all time. But you are right on the limited menu options. Like when they're there for like the limited time, like right now, just to piggyback while we're on topic, Taco Bell has a chili cheese burrito. It's something that they had in the day. They got rid of it. It's been back for, I'd say, like 6, 7, 8 months. It's still limited, but it's not on the full menu and it won't be around forever. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely unbelievable. So capitalize now. So that is another recommendation, that chili cheese burrito from Taco Bell. Get yourself a side of nacho cheese to dip it into. It is delicious, but yeah, I agree with you. Once it makes the regular menu, I don't know if it loses the luster or, like you said, that just that extra level of care or ingredient is not there.
Yeah, they're
But
just slapping it together and
yeah,
pumping it
no,
out.
I think that's a good one, Corp. So, and like I said, coming from Corporal on a Taco Bell recommendation, who's not
Yeah,
a
he's a
Taco
huge
Bell guy,
anti-Taco Bell guy.
so.
Many a nights fighting back against the Taco Bell versus McDonald's debate and having to like, well, I'm the driver, so guess what we're getting tonight.
Not Taco Bell. Well, if it's me, Taco Bell every time.
Yeah, there's many times, but you live, you learn. McDonald's isn't what it used to be for me. I'm not a big fast food guy, and so when we get it, I let her choose a lot of the times, and that's where we go. So it's like, okay,
I
let me try some
I
of these
just
items.
Dude, I don't like McDonald's at all really anymore. I still can get down with McDonald's breakfast. But yeah, I think McDonald's has really good sauces. Like I love their hot mustard sauce, their barbecue. They got great sauces, but their overall food quality just is it's not great. All right, young Richard, what do you got for us?
All right.
Recommendation of the
So
week.
my recommendation of the week is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. So you buy 5 vegetables, 4 fruits, 3 proteins, 2 carbs, and one fun cheating item, I guess you can call it, to manage cost and maintain a solid budget with these high prices.
All
So
right, Rick.
help keep the budget, huh?
I've never heard of this. I can see why it makes sense. And you're saying like how like this is supposed to last like for you, Rick, as a single dude, you're only shopping for yourself. How long would this last you? These 5 vegetable, like it's supposed to be a week's worth of food, or like what's the run rate on the 5-4-3-2-1?
Yeah, it's supposed to last a week. Yes.
Okay. And obviously it makes sense, right? It's inverted pyramid. You're getting your fruits, veggies, proteins as the priorities, still mixing in some carbs. And then your one fun item is like your cheat thing, right?
Yeah.
A birthday cake.
Or whatever. Like Rick strikes me as like an Oreo cookie guy.
Not anymore.
Well, you're no fun anymore. You're no fun anymore.
Well,
Rick.
no, I can't eat dairy. I don't want to shit my brains out. So
Rick is on the clean living. But yeah, Rick can throw down the sweets with the best of them. Don't let him fool you when he's on the bad end of the yo-yo.
Oh yeah. A whole bag or about 4 rows of Oreos.
All right, shifting in, boys. You know what time it is. It's power stance time.
Power stance.
All right, you know how it works. Give me your best power stance vocal and then hit your stance, baby. Young Richard, start us off.
Power stance. So my power stance of the week is all gas, no brake. Always step on the other team's fucking throat. Don't turn into Mr. Conservative. And I'll give you an example. Last 5 years since, we traded Stafford to the Rams, and the Rams have been good. I mean, they were good before that with Goff when they went to the Super Bowl, but McVay, the motherfucker goes up 10 points, and he turns into a giant pussy and just gives the spread away every damn time when they're favored by a double-digit spread, or they're favored by 9.5. You're like, oh, I got this in the bag. They're up by 17, and then nope, just lets the other team get back in the game, and then they have to actually play from behind, or it's ends up being they score with the last minute, or you don't cover because the other team scores, and then fucks you on the spread.
You're so right on that. I got my wife telling me shit like that. Oh, So they're going to lose now? They're up 10? Like, yep, that's how it works with McVay. He just
every time.
Yeah, McVay's one of the worst, man. He's one of the worst of taking the foot off the throat. But no, this is a great power stance, Rick. If you go for the knockout blow, right? There does hit a certain point when they're dead. It's like, okay, I can call off the dogs, but make sure they're dead, because if not, it might bite you in the ass. So
like that
I love it.
That's like Florida in round 1. They kept scoring with 2 minutes to go. They're up 50 points. And then they come out the next game and lose to Iowa. So there's some karma shit that can come to you, but like that's not what we're talking about here. They were already dead. They were up 100 to 50, and they're shooting threes with 30 on the shot clock.
Yeah. It's all gas, no brakes until they're actually TKO'd. Like, don't do the conservative. Corporal, you can remember this from back in the day, the Chargers, right? Like, we were huge Phillip Rivers guys. We had to pray for their defense to suck, because they would just go into a shell and run, like, just go into ultra conservative, run the football mode. If they had any type of lead, like, it was just excruciating. I hate coaches that coach like that. Like, execute your game plan until you knock out your opponent, until you kill them. And then from there, you can call off the dogs, but make sure they're fucking dead.
Yeah, especially in sports and in certain areas of life that have that comeback mechanic built in. Like, you can't let that happen. That's how comebacks happen, is because you don't keep scoring. You don't keep driving. You don't keep doing the thing that got you the lead.
Yep. All right, Prowler. Let's hear it.
Power stance.
This will just never get old. And I know the Army just has to absolutely love it too. What do you got for us this week?
Change is hard. That doesn't mean avoid it. Lean in, make the change, and improve your life. Not everything's going to be easy. Change for the sake of change isn't right either. But when the writing's on the wall, you read the tea leaves and you understand what needs to be done. Make the change, whether that's health, a career choice, a bad friendship, something. Make the change so you can better yourself. You get one life, and don't waste it thinking about the things you could have changed. Make the change and move forward.
Yeah, this is a motivational one, but yeah, dude, absolutely right. Don't be the guy who sticks around too long, or don't be the guy who ignored all the cues and everything and stayed in your routine or what you were comfortable with for too long. So I like the caveat. Don't make a change just to make a change, but know when the right time is to make a change and do it. So some motivational words from the Prowler there. Power stance. And I am going to end us with this. Spring has arrived. I love the weather warm up. We're getting the sunshine. But with spring also comes rain. And rain absolutely blows. I'm telling you, give me the snow. The rain is the absolute worst. And it dampens spring's appeal just a tad. So I'm not going to rain on our parade, but I am going to say, fuck the rain. That ends it for today. Episode 11 in the books. As always, I am your host, Gun Diesel, signing out and reminding you, don't be a beta bitch. Alpha's out. Woo!